Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. We switch gears, we switch hats, and we say hello to Danielle Alonzo.
Hi.
Let's see now. Hi, Danielle. Dan, I'm just going to give the credits. Dan, we do the credits before the show in this case. She's a writer, director, and executive producer of Bronx-ish, which we're going to find out about. She has been cast in ABC's Diversity Showcase. She has had roles on CBS's FBI, on HBO's High Maintenance. I don't know if she is high maintenance. We'll find out in just a moment. Nice to see you, Danielle. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. This is exciting. I am not high maintenance. I'm
Oh,
very
okay.
low maintenance.
She's
Yeah,
chill.
I'm a
Okay. So talk to me a little bit just about you. You were just telling me about the first time you were ever in front of a camera or you had this idea that you could be doing this sort of thing.
It didn't click again until after high school, but my mom did try when I was a young kid to put me in some things. I was around 2 or 3 and she tried to get me into modeling, and they put me in a private room. And when they took me back out, they told her she doesn't listen.
I have to tell you, I will applaud that because
Yeah,
you know who you're talking to
yeah.
here.
They said we can't
Tremendous.
control her. So then she tried again and
I have to interject. My
yeah,
son, we did the same with my son, and he was a little boy, and
yeah.
he went to some. They had him eat potato chips because of a potato chip, and they said eat potato chips. He goes, "Why would I?"
Yeah.
so, so that didn't work. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. So she tried then. I didn't listen. And then about 9, they had like an Oscar Mayer commercial. They were holding it in the Bronx in like a supermarket parking lot. And I went out for that. Like, my baloney has a first name. I don't, whatever. They didn't pick me.
How
And,
could they not?
huh?
How could they not?
That's what I'm saying. I did it. I mean, I was into it.
Right, right.
And then in high school, I went to a performing arts high school. So I did a little bit of vocal, a little bit of
Ah,
dance, and then
very
I
good.
did improv. And
And
that's
here we are today. So tell me about Bronx-ish.
so
That's like Bronx, but Bronx-ish.
it's actually the expletive I can't say. So
Oh.
it's the stuff that happens in the Bronx.
Ah,
So
which all of our viewers can relate to, I'm sure.
yes. So pretty much it follows me going after my career as an actor and all the adventures and all the stuff that I deal with, that I experience, all from my perspective. Living at home. I mean, first season, it was living at home and auditioning and getting pulled over by a cop and trying to flirt my way out of a ticket. I mean, that's just a day in the life of me living in the Bronx.
And these photographs indicate that it's not only that you are in front of the camera, but you're also kind of running the whole thing. At what point did you say, you know what, maybe I ought to do something with this, not just me trying to get roles and being on TV or films or whatever?
hmm well, I've always had a bit of a control issue. So that helped.
That's come up already 3 times
Yeah, right?
in our four
Honest.
minutes together.
I'm open about all my stuff. But I had always been a writer. But again, I never put it together that I would write in my career. I just always enjoyed writing. And then maybe 2014, I had seen some live acts of women doing
Mhm.
one woman shows and creating their own content. And I said, I can do that. I impersonate people all the time. I can do that. And so that's really how it started. In 2014, I had a one woman show and I wrote it and directed it and performed it. And the success of it really gave me that confidence to know that, wow, I think I'm kind of good at it. There's something here. Let me continue that. And so I did it again in 2015, and that show was sold out. And then in 2017, I said, I want to make this a web series. I'm auditioning for other people's content, other people's student films. I said, I can do this. So that's really where the idea came from.
And what's so interesting to me is that, and we interview so many Bronx artists and filmmakers and photographers and everything else. Um, you, it's like your artwork has to be original because you have a story to tell that nobody else knows. We have 1.4 million people here, and I say this all the time: nobody knows who we are.
Mhm.
Nobody knows how we live. Nobody knows anything about us. Seems to me it's what characterizes our work as Bronx artists or Bronx performers, very, very well. And I'm assuming this is what because what you have in season 2 of Bronx-ish are everyday things that we all, and I say we, our family in the Bronx, we
Mhm.
all deal with.
Yeah. I mean, I think I enjoy sharing my perspective, my world. I'm in season 2. You see me visiting my grandma, my Puerto Rican grandma. She came here when she was 9. You see me getting therapy. You know what that looks like. I moved out. That's a big thing that happened in season 2 that I was struggling with in season 1. So it's really following me on this journey of of acting. And I just share my world. I share my point of view. And a lot of New Yorkers, a lot of Bronx people, there's so many, yes, oh my God, that's so true. Oh my God, that happened to me. It's our world, it's our perspective that makes it special.
Uh,
Hilarious.
there were a number of items. We'll review all of them right after. We're going to take a look at a trailer. But I just love this when you need therapy from your therapy. I love that. You leave your therapy session and you got to talk to somebody
That
because
really
I don't
happened.
know what's going. I'm sure it did. All right. So Bronx-ish season 2. We'll talk about where people can see it and everything else. But we're going to take a look. This is snippets, little trailer.
Okay.
Pieces of Bronx-ish from Danielle Alonzo. Let's take a look.
Oh, are you an actor? Yeah.
That's sweetie.
Aquí en la lucha. It makes me feel like I'm not gonna get past this. Like I already see myself in a straitjacket.
If the shoe fits. You never been to his house.
Never.
And he's asking you for money.
See, that's.
I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
Do you own the bike lane? Like, do you have stocks invested? Do you think this is Monopoly? Do you think this is Boardwalk, Park Place, Illinois, the railroads? I don't know.
All right, there we go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you first of all, before I ask more questions, where can people see it? Now season 2 is here. What do we got to do to
So
check
I
it out?
actually just dropped that trailer today.
Right.
So our YouTube channel is Bronx-ish, spelled out just the same way. Our Instagram, TikTok, all that, Facebook is Bronx-ish _. So just Bronx-ish _. You can find us on social media.
So the subjects that we have had summarized here, when you're an adult woman stuck with your mom in an apartment in New York City during the pandemic, how many of us? I mean, I would never have been an adult woman, but how many Bronx adult women know about that? When you finally move out and have to adult on your own, and when you need therapy from your therapy, when you walk down the block in the Bronx, or as you were growing up, do you visualize things and say, "Wow, this can be a segment"? I mean, it's like somebody said they wrote their autobiography, and they said, "Where do you get your ideas from?" Well, from my life.
Yeah. It oftentimes does happen like that. There's characters all the time. I'm walking down the street, I'm on the bus, I'm driving, something happens. I usually record it on my phone or make a note of it. Like, this just happened. This is funny. And then other times I just make it up in my head. Like, this would be really funny if this happened. But pretty much everything I've written is stuff I've experienced. The bike lane, I got in an argument with a lady walking in the bike lane, going to an audition. Someone on the train asking me about an audition as I'm really preparing. That's happened many times. Therapy, having a really bad therapy session when I need it the most, that has happened. So it's funny in hindsight, usually not funny in the moment.
When it happens.
Yeah.
And so I guess the quote unquote genius of it is being able to take that and turn that into something that communicates to people. I gotta ask you this: Everybody Eats, which is staring us right in the face. What is
Yep.
that?
So that's actually a quote I got from a movie. That's a lot of my neighborhood people, my people we love. It's from Paid in Full, but it stands for everybody eats, everybody wins, everybody's gonna get money, everybody's gonna get it. There's enough for everyone, and I really do believe that, especially in the world of acting and an artist. Some people don't start because they think it's too hard and I'm not gonna get a chance. And no, life God says there's enough for everyone. So
I had you and I were talking about it before the show, and I was saying it's everybody around the table. I mean, that's really what
Yeah.
we're talking about. All right, so what's next for you? I mean, you've done this, and now you're just going to work on promoting it, or do you already start thinking about? Gee, I was on Bronx TV. We're going to make that a segment because that
Yeah,
was.
this helps. We're so grateful. This definitely helps spreading the word, getting people to pay attention. We have creators, women, Afro Latina creators, writing, directing, producing their own content. It's a lot of work. We still are accepting donations for post production. My first episode is dropping 2/2/22 because my favorite number is 2. We'll be releasing one episode every week on YouTube, so they should definitely subscribe to the channel and just support creators, Bronx creators doing it.
Yeah, there's no question about it. So let's go to Bronx-ish on YouTube,
Yes.
and that's the way you're going to do it. How prolific are you? Do you create in your mind all the time? That's what I guess. I always love getting into an artist's muse.
So
Or at this point, you're not even going to think about it because you're working on other stuff. We got about
no,
40 seconds for you.
Once this was done, I felt a release. I got it all out. But as the inspiration comes, I make a note of it. And before you know it, over time,
There you go.
I got content.
Yep. Listen, Danielle Alonzo, Bronx-ish. Let's check it out on YouTube. I'm definitely going to subscribe because I want to see all the cool stuff that comes out. Love to see what Bronx people are saying about our lives because nobody else is doing it. BronxNet does it. That's why we're here, and that's why we love to have you with us. And guess what? You do something else, we'll bring you back. That's how it'll work.
Thank you so much. This was great.
A pleasure to meet you and a pleasure to have you. And we obviously, BronxNet and me personally, and Rebecca, our producer, we all are so enthusiastic about Bronx artists. So that's about it, folks. We'll see you next week. More Bronx Buzz. Good night.